Well, Kenny Dillingham said it best. We love heart attacks, and if you were a fan at Mountain America Stadium tonight, you definitely felt that. ASU takes down number 24 TCU 27-24 in nail-biting and exhilarating fashion. Shout out to Joaquin Rodriguez, predicted that score on the dot. But Gabby Chernoff and Chris Cartman coming to you from Tempe. Welcome inside Mountain America Stadium for the Devil Source Postgame Show presented by Jones Auto Centers. Now, Chris, there's a lot to unpack in this game. If we were on Southwest, we'd be getting charged for an overweight baggage fee. But starting even before the game, dark skies in Tempe, lots of rain, flooding all around the valley. It's a blackout game, third straight sellout. Every home game this year for the Sun Devils has been sold out. And even with that game that was giving everybody heart attacks, I mean, Kenny Dillingham's brother went up to him after the game and called him Cardiac Kenny. Close game Kenny, Cardiac King, whatever you want to call it. Let us know what your favorite nickname for Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils is now after that one. 2 straight weeks of that. But Chris, just with everything to unpack, big overarching thoughts from that game.
Kenny the Kid Dillingham, you didn't even say that one. He's getting older.
There's so many, and I'm sure they have some of their own that they've come up with.
He's getting older from these experiences here, Gabby. That something about ASU in close games last year, winning the most in program history, has carried over now to Big 12 play early this season. I know a lot of ASU fans in the gift check at halftime were not feeling too good about things. So I did one at the end of the game to double back and say, okay, how you feeling now? But there's just a resiliency. There's a belief. Dillingham said after the game that the players never had any doubt when they fell down 17-0 early. It was a stinker of the first 25 minutes. I thought that even then they looked like they had the more talent. They looked like the better team. I had predicted ASU to win a close game. They were maddening in the red area and in short yardage situations. It's been a carryover of all the issues that they've had early in the season. But Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson, Raleek Brown, and some of these guys on defense, they're pretty good, Gabby. And when it matters most, they show up biggest. And you could see that. We saw that last season. Here it is again. ASU's 2-0 in the Big 12. That's in a really, really great situation heading into this bye week. Huge game on tap coming up at Utah after that. They need to figure out a little bit more about what they're doing in some of these situations offensively and short yardage and goal line. And that's where you miss Cam Scadaboo. But I feel like Sam Levitt had probably his best game. He made a bad throw that was almost intercepted. It wasn't perfect, but he went through progressions. He moved well. A lot of positives here that they're continuing to build upon.
Well, both these teams now 4-1. ASU spoils TCU's undefeated streak to start the season, and a big reason why the Sun Devils were able to do that was the defense. The defense was putting the offense in such good positions to score, and there were struggles with that, which we'll get to later. But Prince Dorba, the standout guy on the defensive side of the ball, ASU had 6 total sacks, 13 tackles for loss. Prince Dorba had 3 of those sacks, and the play of the game, if we're being honest here. So how is Prince Dorba kind of a microcosm of this defense, and especially the pass rush, which has been a big focus in the offseason and going into this season?
You already know what the sly move of the week is going to be on Monday. We're going to talk about it. We're going to preview it right now. I don't remember ever seeing a guy in such a big moment beat a tackle off the edge, bring the quarterback down, and pull the ball away all in one kind of emotion. And certainly not when it was his 3rd sack of the game. He was dominant. And look, I'm going to sort of toot our own horn a little bit on this one, but we said in August that this was a defensive-led football team at ASU. Everybody's Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson and the All-American candidacy, and that's what's going to be the big momentum push for this ASU team. No, this is a defensive first team. They're gritty. They showed tonight that they are an improved pass rush. Remember, that was their biggest problem last year, was they didn't get to the quarterback enough. We wrote so many articles and spent so much time talking about all these guys getting bigger and stronger and how that might help them in the second year with Dyron Reynolds as their defensive line coach. Dillingham talked about it after the game. He said that their stunts and their twist actions are more coordinated and the wrapper is getting home. The guy who's coming around the other guys, basically. And then what that's doing is it's leading to their offensive tackles of the opponents undersetting in some of these key situations where the edges are able to come in there and make those plays. Brian Ward, ASU's defensive coordinator, has a goal every season, 40 sacks, 30 takeaways. Last year, only 2 teams in FBS accomplished that. Both of them were in the college football playoff along with ASU. ASU didn't make it there because its pass rush primarily wasn't good enough. Big, huge strides in this game. 6 sacks against a ranked team. Super impressive. They're going to jump up the stats in that category. And when you have a back end that can play as well as this team can, especially in that second half tonight, those things really work in concert well together. And this defense is in a great place going into this bye week.
Definitely an impressive showing to hold Josh Hoover, another one of the Big 12's best quarterbacks, to under 270 yards. And like you said,
total yards. And they didn't run the ball like almost at all. Like TCU was missing its top running back. This is a team that runs the ball better than most air raid style offenses. First quarter, there was some runs. There was nothing after that. They turned TCU into a pass-only team. Remember, Josh Hoover had gone for 1,000 yards in the non-conference. He's averaging well over 300 yards a game on his own. Tonight they had 268 or 269 total yards of offense. That is a staggeringly impressive performance by ASU's defense.
And ASU's offense had nearly double that, but somehow, they still struggled. I really feel like, especially down there with all the penalties, I believe it was an 11-play drive total. Raleigh Brown had a big run to bring them closer to the end zone, and then they were just gifted first downs with penalties, and it took until a 4th down to get that touchdown. But ASU still very dominant in the second half of this football game, and it still came down to being a game of inches. So Chris, what did you see on that front?
Well, they moved the ball quite easily. They had yards per play is an important stat in football. ASU dominated yards per play against a good offense. And then they would just get into the scoring territory or in the red zone, and they would just bog down and they wouldn't be able to do anything. Turn the ball over twice on 4th downs, going for situations. The end of the game, they were going to try that sneak, and then they false started. Everyone was having a panic attack. Not just Kenny Dillingham getting older, all the fans were like, what is going on? People on the sidelines were like, how are they going to go for this? He explained it after the game. It sort of made sense, I guess. I think you got to kick the field goal, but they had 3 timeouts. TCU would have been pinned against its half-yard line. ASU would have been able to get the ball back if TCU didn't convert a 1st down and then have a field goal. But yeah, I mean, Jesus Gomez, super reliable, misses 2 field goals uncharacteristically. ASU's penalties, they had negative plays immediately before both of those field goals that were missed. They've not been able to establish enough of a physical run on the inside in those goal line short red situations without Cam Scadaboo and missing Leif Altanu at center. They're going to have to fix that. They ran a play for the Jordan Tyson touchdown that won the game that they hadn't run, they said, in like the whole time. They said they practiced it for 2 years, and then finally they ran this play and they were able to do just enough offensively to win the game. Levitt lost a fumble early on, but ASU still won the turnover battle, which, again, TCU had won all of the 1 turnover margin in each of its prior games. ASU won at Baylor because of the turnover margin. Martell Hughes clinches the game tonight with the interception. ASU wins a turnover margin, had the better defense, had the clutch plays on offense when it mattered.
Now, speaking of Martell Hughes, like you mentioned, he had that interception that iced the game for ASU. Kenny Dillingham was talking in there about how he said when all of those veterans are gone, Martell Hughes said, we're going to have a pretty young linebacking core here. And Kenny Dillingham said, or I think he said Keyshawn Elliott said to him, you're going to be a junior, man. like this is time flies. You're going to be the veteran player now. But it's just great to see young guys like that come up in such big moments. All of his teammates, including Kenny Dillingham, in there said, it's really great to see him be able to perform in such a big way. Rodney Bimmage Jr. also, he was playing in place of Javen Robinson. He tweaked his ankle earlier in the week. He had to go in and out of the medical tent a couple of times on the sideline, I noticed as well. And then Wade Helton came in for Jameto Bigbo early in the game after Jameto Bigbo committed a penalty. So, Chris, what did you see on that front as far as replacements?
I think everybody knows at this point that this is a very veteran team, a lot of seniors that they're heavily relying upon, and then Jordan Tyson is going to be around next year based on the way he's playing, right? Sam Levitt, we'll see about him, but they're going to lose a lot of guys, and so you need to have an idea of who's going to be coming up next. And tonight we saw that. Martell Hughes has been a really valuable third down linebacker for them. He gets a lot of depth. He's an athlete. He can cover space. He had a big physical tackle after blowing up a block last week against Baylor. You mentioned Rodney Bimmage. I feel like even in camp and early this season, his level of play was right there neck and neck with Javen Robinson, who tweaked his ankle on Wednesday. He tried to go early in this game. He wasn't 100% running-wise. Even Rodney Bimmage wasn't 100% running-wise, but he didn't give up anything that was a big play. And then you mentioned Wade Helton early in the game. Jameto Bigbo committed a penalty that wiped away a big gain that ASU had, and he had another mistake that he made, and they just decided, hey, we're going to rip the Band-Aid and we're going to get a Bigbo out there. Jalen Clem also played for one series or maybe two series at left tackle in place of Josh Atkins. Maybe they were just trying to get those two guys on the left side who are familiar with one each other incorporated a little bit more. But what you're seeing is some of these young guys are starting to show that they're ready to handle more of a role this season, certainly by next season, and that's going to matter so much for them for the future. And in this game, it really was pivotal.
And special teams, that was another struggle for this team. He doesn't even want to talk about it. But punting game obviously struggled. 2 missed field goals by Jesus Gomez after walking it off. He was the Big 12 special teams player of the week this past week, and then he misses 2 field goals. What was going on the special teams front?
Bad performance on special teams tonight. Wow. So, yeah, there's a lot there, right? They had Raleek Brown has not been confident enough to field punts, and they lost 15 yards early on because he wouldn't make a fair catch that he needed to make. And I put it on social media, you have to take him out of the game if he's not going to catch the ball. Sure enough, they went with Keith Abney for the remainder of the game. He was able to field the ball no problem. Raleek Brown, super dynamic athlete. People saw it. He had a great performance rushing the ball again tonight. But if you don't catch the ball, you're not going to be able to make plays in the punting game, right? And then ASU's punting without Canyon Floyd, who has a quad injury. I think they're trying to just give him one more week and get the bye week, get him fully healthy. Major issue. Couple punts today by Matt McKenzie, their newcomer who came in from Australia. I think he had a 23-yarder and a 30-yarder. I don't know. I'm not very good at math. Like 27-yard average. No, that is not going to get it done.
Chris and I both talk about we're not very good at math, but that's not good.
Not as bad. It's bad. And then there were other problems. They ran into the kicker. They had penalties. Jesus Gomez had only missed 1 field goal coming into the game. I think he was 9 of 10. He misses 2 that he typically makes. Pushed one, pulled the other. You're going to lose a game. If you keep having these things going on, you're going to lose a game, and they have to get some of these things fixed so that they're at least not problems. You know, it's okay if it's not a strength. It can't be a problem. Special teams tonight was a problem again.
especially when after the bye week you go into Utah's house and play them.
Yeah.
That environment is known for being very tough to play in, and then Texas Tech shortly after that, widely considered the best team in the Big 12 right now. So with this bye week, Kenny Dillingham said he's very excited for it. Someone asked him if he was...
Us too, Gabby.
Someone asked him if, he kind of wanted to keep the momentum rolling, and he said, absolutely not. I want to do nothing tomorrow. I'm going to take the week and rest, obviously. Not a whole lot of rest to be had for an NCAA
you're coaching.
football coach during a bye week, but still maybe a little bit more of a break for Kenny Dillingham nonetheless. But
not on Monday, though.
Not on Monday, because you know what's on Monday? Kenny Dillingham on the Devil Source podcast live from Rack Scottsdale. Be there 5:30 p.m. It'll be a super fun time. We have all kinds of giveaway raffles, meet and greet opportunities happening as well. Hopefully get some really good insight from Coach Dillingham as well, and it should just be a fun evening all around. So make sure you come out and support. It's free event, free parking, right in the heart of Old Town Scottsdale.
Why wouldn't you be there?
Why wouldn't you be there? That's a great question, Chris. Why wouldn't you be there? But nonetheless, Chris, what can this team take from its first 5 weeks with the bye week, doing some self-scouting into Utah afterwards?
Really great defense. Like early on, there was a few little plays. They gave up that 28-yarder on a, forever to gain, but they didn't give up plays over the top of their defense. They didn't get gashed in the run game against a really good team. Josh Hoover, called by Brian Ward the best quarterback they've played in the Big 12, including last season. So this defense is locked and loaded, especially now that the pass rush is coming along. Their linebacker play was great. Jordan Crook, Keyshawn Elliott, those guys played really well. Miles Rausers making tackles all over the place. He did not get exposed in this game. Kendrick Breedlove did not get exposed in this game. This defense is ready to go play in those big-time games that you mentioned, Utah, Texas Tech. Those are going to be bare-knuckle brawls coming up, I'm telling you. And ASU's offense, this is a good opportunity for them to figure out what they need to do to be able to execute better in some of these short yardage situations. I do feel like Sam Levitt's settling in. They're more first-level read options, more easier throws, screens, little things that make it not as demanding on the wide receivers. Jaron Hamilton, welcome to the chat. Big play, right, tonight?
Can you shall receive, Hines Ward?
Yeah, Jordan Tyson has another over 100. It's like ho-hum. We don't even mention it until the end. He had well over 100 yards. He had 2 receiving touchdowns. He has 7 receiving touchdowns this season. The all-time record at ASU in a season is 14. He's halfway there in 5 games. He's probably going to blow out 1 or 2 or 3 records single season at ASU. I think he's the best wide receiver I've ever seen at ASU. That includes Brandon Ayuk and N'Keal Harry and Jalen Strong and Keith Poole and whoever I'm forgetting, I'm sorry. Jarrell Robinson, Derek Hagan, the all-time leading Pac-10 at the time, wide receiver in receptions, career receptions leader at ASU. Watched them all. I think this is the best wide receiver that I've seen. He does everything. Phenomenal playmaking ability. He stops time to catch the ball. It's like boom, and everyone else.
I literally will be tracking the ball sometimes, and I see Jordan Tyson come into frame, and it's literally he just stops.
He's a time stopper. He's a time stopper. It's crazy. So they have the weapons. Sam Levitt is I think he's getting into a better rhythm. He's understanding what they're trying to do. Can't turn the ball over. But ASU's picking up steam. Remember, last year, Gabby, all these ASU fans, they were so in the tank about this team after Texas State and Texas Tech. And then they expected ASU was going to be a lot better. So did I early on in the season. But the coaching is good on this team. The resiliency is there. They understand how to win. They've got that special thing. And you should never count these guys out in close games when they have weapons like they do and the defense that can make the types of game-winning plays that we've seen going back last season. Javen Robinson against BYU, Prince Dorba tonight, Martell Hughes. I think that's going to continue. Buckle up, because this is going to be a very exciting and interesting stretch through the middle of the Big 12 schedule for ASU.
I definitely got a little bit of deja vu when Martell Hughes intercepted that ball. Obviously, not as many implications with this game as that BYU game last year, but it's kind of like the ball's in the air, everyone in the stadium goes silent, and then that ball is caught, and everybody just goes crazy. It's a really fun thing to watch. And like you mentioned, Jordan Tyson too, there was a play where he was running across the field and he slid in to catch the ball, and he was running full speed, and as soon as he slid, he just stopped right where the ball was, and I saw him come into frame on my camera, and I was kind of like,
Agent Zero. That's what.
It doesn't even look real.
Agent Zero. He's very special.
He jumps in the air and floats. Very special to watch, and that's definitely saying something coming from you if he's the best wide receiver you've seen here.
3 sellouts. ASU fans are getting their money's worth watching this team. The excitement. You're not going to get more of that drama probably spending that amount of money anywhere in town. And we're going to talk to Kenny about it, Kenny Dillingham, on Monday, and then we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, show up and support. We're going to plug it one more time. Kenny Dillingham on the Sun Devil Source podcast, live from Rack Scottsdale this Monday. It's totally free. I'm sure.
You can win things.
You can win things. You can win signed things.
You can support our sponsors. You can get a mixed drink or whatever it is that you want. We're super geeked up about it. There'll be a lot of people there. Show up.
Yeah, we're very excited to meet some of you guys for sure, and I'm sure a lot of you are excited at the chance to meet Kenny Dillingham, so we really do hope to see you there. A lot of excitement from tonight that Sun Devil fans will be sitting on for the next 2 weeks as we anticipate that Utah game over in Utah against the Utes in a couple weeks from now. But now that we've unpacked all of that, thank you for bearing with us thus far. Gabby Chernoff and Chris Cartman, this has been the Sun Devil Source Postgame Show presented by Jones Auto Centers from Mountain America Stadium. We'll see you on Monday.